Hey, it's Dorleen. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm working on a layout and this is going to be a 2-page spread. So I decided to pull out my Christmas pictures, and this is from 2021. I have lots of pictures, and this is what I call my December daily, or my one photo a day. Hello December, whatever you want to call it. But I took a lot of photos in December, which I'm sure most of us do because there's always so much going on. But there's a couple of them that I only took like 1-2 pictures. So this is what I put in this. It's kind of like a month in review. You know, I've done these spreads before. I didn't have a total plan, but like I said, I knew I wanted to include all of these pictures, or as many of them as possible. So what I did is, you saw that one or the Christmas lights pattern paper, and it's double-sided, and I loved both sides, so I decided to use that one sheet, a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and I just sliced 4 2-inch strips and 4 1-inch, and I basically just put them across both pages, the left and the right, because that's what's going to coordinate the 2 pages. And that is all I used as far as pattern paper, so that was kind of fun. So even though it was 1 page or 1 sheet, it really looks like 2 because of the double-sided. There's not too many times where I get to use both sides of a double-sided paper. And then as I was putting all the photos down, and I believe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I end up with 10 photos. Those 2 little ones that I just put down, I don't end up using those, but I'll explain that in a second. So I found this, it's 4 1/4 or 4 1/2 inch by 12 piece of red cardstock that was in my scrap pile, and I thought, it did need a little bit more color, so I added that here, and then you'll see what I did over on that left side. But again, I'm just trying to sort out the photos. There's a lot of photos, but I don't want it to look like a big jumble, massive photos. Although that is my intention, I do like focusing on the photos when I do my scrapbooking. But of course, we have all these pretties, so we should be using them. So what I was talking about on those 2 that I just removed right there, I actually did a full layout on that already, and they just didn't fit on that layout. I was going to try to incorporate it here. They weren't really necessary to tell what we've done in December because I did that other layout, so I didn't end up using them, and I really like that decision because otherwise I think it just would have been too much. So I mentioned that I used that red on the right side, so I wanted to include red over here on the left side. But if you also notice, I have 2 4x6 photos going, vertically. So I didn't want to just kind of hide the paper. So I cut a 1-inch strip, which I was just going to put on the side there. And then I decided, nope, I'm going to cut it in half. So I have 2 1/2-inch strips. And then I put one on both the right and the left side of that, those 2 4x6 photos. And it gives the illusion of having a full strip of paper, or not. It doesn't really matter. It could look like that, or it could just look like I put a piece of red cardstock on both sides. But at that point, I love the way it looks. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere all the pattern pieces of paper, and also those red strips. Now, I have my big, huge ATG gun, which I absolutely love. And I usually use this when I'm doing big pieces of paper like I'm doing here. I try to use my smaller handheld, like the, what is it called, Tombow, or any really double-sided adhesives when I'm doing my smaller pieces. But that's not really like a rule of mine. The only reason why I do that is because it seems like every refill is just so expensive, and so like the more I can just kind of save for other things, the better. But look at here, I just said all that, and here I am using my ATG gun for the photos. It doesn't matter, folks. It's all adhesive. Sometimes I even use the liquid adhesive, which you've seen me do if you are a subscriber of my channel. And if you're not, please remember to do that by clicking on the subscribe button below. You can also hit the notification bell. I do post at least 2 videos a week. One is always scrapbooking, and the other is whatever it is I'm creating in the command center. And that, folks, is the name of my craft room, also my blog, and really it could be anything. I started realizing, people probably think I'm crazy. I really don't just do paper crafts. That does seem to be my love and my focus, but I'm also, painting. I've got really into charcuterie boards, so I've been posting a lot of that. Mostly those are on my Instagram account, which I'll have that link below in the information box, as well as a link to my blog, because I don't always do YouTube videos for all of my projects. but mostly because I just kind of forget about halfway through, and then I think, I forgot to film. But anyhow, I'm going to pull out my Cricut, and I'm going to work on a title on this page, on that empty spot that's on the bottom of this bottom half, and I'm going to work on some embellishments. Now, I just cut this Hello December, which I think is so fun, and I use the same colors as what's already on the page. I really like the addition of the red again because it's just making things pop. And I'm showing you here, these are snowmen and trees from the Doodle Charms cartridge from the Cricut. I know we don't really go by cartridges now since we have Design Space, but I gotta tell you, I literally made these when I had the cartridges. So I can't even tell you how long ago I made these. It's got to be at least 10 years, if not more. But, well, maybe not more. But what I do is I do a 12 Days of Christmas Tag series, which if you are a subscriber, you've probably saw them. But I usually just make a ton of the cuts, and then sometimes I don't use them all. So I have a box, one of those photo boxes, the really pretty ones, that I have like all my extra Cricut cuts. And this is going back to, like I said, years ago. And a lot of these too, like I might have a layout or a special request to do something, and instead of just making the one for that person or the one for that particular project, I would make like a few of them. And then also, back before Design Space, excuse me, sometimes I guessed on sizes and I wasn't always right. So I had all these extras, and I would, like I said, I just kind of finish them instead of tossing it and keeping them in this box. And every so often I go through the box and I use them, or I realize, I'm never going to use this, and I'll donate them in one of those trash to treasure piles, like when you go to crops and stuff, or friends, whatever. But anyhow, I was really glad that I kept these because I didn't have to go out and I didn't have to recreate a bunch of embellishments. Even though it doesn't snow in my part of California, snowman is always a good embellishment when you're doing December or Christmas layouts. So I just pulled all those out, and I am happy to say I used them all. And you can tell right here that they're different sizes. And some of them had the trees attached, some of them didn't. So I added those trees because they're super cute. This used to be one of my favorite cartridges. And the funny thing is I don't know if I've ever cut anything from it since Design Space has come around, or since I'm an Access member, because you get thousands and thousands of images. But I just went through and kind of decided where I was going to put things, where I was putting a journaling box. I did one over on that left side, which you saw, and I'll do another small one over here on this right page, and you'll see me where I put that. But a lot of once I figure out what embellishments I'm using, and then a lot of it is just kind of moving it around until I like where it is or where I decide to put it. And here's my journaling box. This one's a small one because I feel like I need to have a bigger one, because I'm, in a sense, saying, look, these are things that happened that didn't need a full page, but also, it's December, so everything's happening. And on this page, I think I got a little bit more specific on, I'm just pointing out that I had a little, not straight edge. And that's a great time to use embellishments to cover them instead of throwing the whole thing out again. So what people can't see does not hurt them. So for those of you who are looking for perfection, which I am obviously not, you are never going to find it, which is probably why I don't, or I'm not. Hide your imperfections, if you want to call it that. And, nobody is the wiser, except for the people who are watching your video and telling you all about it. Anyhow, so yeah, I'm just putting this all together, and you can see how cute it is at the end. can see here that I'm changing my mind on the tree. I like it here next to the D because I feel like it kind of connects that embellishment to the title, and it just makes it look like one big cluster versus, you know, a cluster of embellishment, a title, and then a journaling box. So I really like that there, and I hope you agree. Then I'm just going to go ahead and journal, like I said, talking about what happened in the month of December, or a basic view, besides the activity of Christmas Eve with the family and Christmas Day with the family. There's so much more to December, which I hope everybody enjoys during this time. So anyhow, like I mentioned, thank you so much for watching, and I do post 2 videos a week. If you're not already a subscriber, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and please like this video if you like it, which I hope you do as well. I do at least 2 scrapbooking videos a week. Excuse me, I post 2 videos a week. One is always scrapbooking. One is whatever it is I'm creating in the command center, which I mentioned before. And also this year in 2024, I'm going to try to push myself to try to do, if not 3 videos, at least 2 and maybe a short. And so I hope you stick around and watch all those videos with me. Thanks again for watching. Bye.